It is Thursday, and boy, we've had you can see my little bells in the back. They're still moving. The puppy dogs were a little rambunctious this morning, so I had to start all over again. We didn't get very far, so I had to chaos ensued this morning. Anyway, this is Thursday. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. And we're gonna do a little self-care from yesterday. I don't know how your day was, but my goodness, Wednesday was Wednesday was out there, right? And there were some abrupt things that happened yesterday, and we are kind of still processing those things. Or at least I know I am. I don't know if that was as strong for you guys as it was for me, but that was something else. So just a quick recap for the week. As we kind of go through and we're moving along, we have Mercury and Mars in retrograde, and all of the fun, funky energy that's moving in association to that. We have Mercury that'll be in retrograde, that will be retrograde until November 3rd, and then Mars retrograde until November 13th. So we still have a little ways to go. So hold on. We're going to do some self-care today. I do pull at the beginning of the week, and I keep track of the energy cards by day as we go through the week, and then I post those out to the week video, and I just add as we go through the week, I add the links to that. We are working with the Milky Way in perspective, the big picture, small picture, that we are both children of this planet and the universe. So using that third eye in the understanding that it's also the eyes of the universe experiencing basically itself through us. So a little bit bigger than just your third eye, being aware of your actions and how you choose things as you come into situations or projects or whatever it may be that we're doing, that we're being the watcher. That there's strength in all of us as we go through some of these trying times at this point, and boy, the cards are really indicating that. There's some lightness, there's some, and I think we have the reminder here, take these breaks as some of this really heavy stuff is going on. Look at things with the eyes of a child. I mentioned at the beginning of the week, set a timer a couple times a day so that you have a little pause of reflection, and, just kind of, we miss things when we say this is a flower, and we don't pause to go, this is really cool how the leaves are so delicate, and, here, this flower, it doesn't really have petals, but look at the color variations that happen with this plant, and how it changes and how it only opens partially, and there's just so much more to, oh, okay, that's cool, it's a bush, or it's a flower, or it's a plant. We lose that, the variations, and the leaf color. I mean, that's cool. So we just kind of lose sight of some of that. So that's the Earth Magic Oracle deck that we pull the energy for that. I also pull a card for each day that sets the theme or the energy for the day that we're able to work off of, or begin building our understanding of the energies that'll influence that day. We're going to do a little self-care card this morning. Let's go ahead and just do that right now, because we need it after yesterday. So, and today's self-care card, be still. It's interesting, right? How, the stars are there. Be still. Do some reflection. some introflexion. Go take a walk out in nature. Go stick your toes in the sand if you're able to do that. Go feel the cool breeze. I know some of you living up north, it's cooling off up there quite a bit. Go take a walk, feel that wind against your face, and just sit in some stillness. Let's go ahead and get our reading going. Hello, Spirit Energy. Thank you for letting me be an instrument of your insight, support, and guidance as we open to the message you share with us today. Spirit guides, show me clearly. Today was the Eight of Candles, and candles are wands in this deck. And with wands, so things are changing quickly. We saw some of that yesterday. There's some abrupt endings and transitions going on yesterday. And this is going to be, the change is going to be fast-paced, and it's going to be persistent. So we need to use this energy to transform, and it's transforming the mundane into something delightful. So this energy is here. Let's use it to, let's use the energy and turn it into something good if it has started on a very sour note. Or if it was just abrupt and we really weren't ready for whatever it is that's going on. But let's go ahead and embrace that. And then let's see what else we have going on here. We have the Two of Presents, which is Pentacles. We have the Nine of Candles, which is Wands. Potions, which is Cups. More potions. A lot of emotions going on. Be careful with the emotions, because Mercury and Mars retrograde, there's some fast movement with that, where we can speak before we think. And with miscommunication and that sort of thing, we need to be very careful with that. So I know things are moving quickly. Transitions are here, and we might be fighting those transitions a little bit. So let's kind of be still within ourselves, gather our inner strength. Let's work through this. So Two of Presents and Shadow, this is in our challenge position. We might be struggling to manage our time, our money, or our energy. So we just want to reevaluate our commitments. Maybe we need to bring some balance, kind of analyze what's going on. Maybe we need to dole out. We might have taken on a little bit too much, or maybe we need to reshuffle, figure out what the more important things are now as we go through this transition, so that we can kind of smooth things out a little bit. Nine of Candles in shadow is the energy to use today. So we might be feeling a little bit overwhelmed. Life feels different. This is short term. Transitions are like that. So as we go through this abrupt change, things will settle down. Things will settle down a lot after November 3rd. So we just need to kind of bear with this just a little bit longer. The energy to avoid today, the Four of Potions. So a decision probably is upon us. But if we choose the decision, we have to accept everything that's offered in that decision. So use your intuition here. We need to carefully consider the details of this. Remember, we talked about the big picture, small picture. So we really need to reflect how the big picture changes as we're doing this. And then think about like the details. So this seems like it's a sub decision. We have something in transition. This is like a smaller detail that we need to be careful with, because it could kind of muck things up a bit. So, and probably more on the emotional aspect than anything else. So we just want to be careful with probably communication, how we're approaching it, and how we are making sure that we're understanding clearly. Because right now it's very easy for us to not read the fine print, just kind of keep on trucking. And we might need to slow down just a little bit and kind of consider what's being asked of us, or maybe what we're asking of other people. And that might be this bigger picture transition that's going on. Maybe we don't have all the information that we need as we're moving forward. Sometimes you don't realize you're asking for something, or somebody's asking you of something that might be a little bit more than you can take on right now. So just kind of be mindful as we move through that. Today's positive focus is the 8 of Potions. There is a dream or a goal, or something that is coming into the real world, or manifesting, and as it's doing so, and maybe that's part of the transition that's going on here. Whatever that is, it might be leaving us a little flat, and I'll just say that's not necessarily a bad thing. So when we aspire to goals, and I find this, I do this over and over through my life, I find that my goals are inspiring. There's something that you push for, you spend energy on, and you get excited when you meet like your milestones along the way. And then once you achieve it, you kind of look around and that's it. And part of the reason we end up with that, or some of us do, is we've grown through all of that. And when we arrive at the top of that mountain of success, or goal has been achieved, we are able to stretch further up. And so we find ourselves looking at the goal that we just achieved, and instead of really looking back and then the start of that goal, what we how we manifested that into our life, we really need to consider how far we've come during that, because sometimes we can look at the top of the mountain and kind of go, well, I want something more. And that's okay, but just make sure that we're kind of looking back and understanding all of the steps and the growth that came with that achievement of that goal. And then as we set our next goal, that we're now at the starting point that we were before, we're just a little bit further along, or maybe we're climbing a bigger mountain. And that's just how we progress as human beings. So that's not necessarily a bad thing, but just remember how far you've come, my dear, because it's been a journey. Thank you so much, you guys, for joining. Thank you, Spirit Energy, for sharing your message with us today as we move through our day and through our week. If you have any questions, please do comment below. You can also go to Etsy and leave me a message over there. If you go to the Etsy page, there are other readings over there. This is a new channel, so please do subscribe and all that jazz. And of course, if there's any suggestions or anything as we kind of work the kinks out as we get this going, just let me know. I do like to go through and change the decks and everything around as we move along. We'll probably stay with this one. I might move over to another deck this next week. That's just another fun, timely deck that we can use. And then probably go back into the Light Seers tarot deck, probably the very beginning of November. So thank you so much for joining. Enjoy your day, and keep those transitions moving. It's easier to move forward.